I'm Billy from Evil Motorsports, and today we're going to be talking about tire health. Basically, we're going to be talking about how to keep your tires alive as long as possible. One of the things a lot of people tend to do with their car on the track is they get a dedicated set of tires and wheels. That way you can have one set of tires that you only use while you're at the racetrack. This allows you to use something like an extreme summer compound, or some people like to use R compounds and Hoosiers and things like that. I tend to run a 200 tread wear. My oil system on my car isn't really set up to handle the grip that a full-on slick can provide, but a lot of the 200 tread wears are now getting into that same ballpark. The best thing you can do with these tires is make them last, and that does require a little bit of maintenance on your part. So we're going to show you how to do that in the next few minutes here. So these are the things we're going to take with us to the racetrack. We have our portable air pump to increase pressures. We have our tire gauge so we can lower pressures and keep an eye on things. We have a tape measure, that way we can measure circumference of the wheel. That comes in handy with wear rates. We have our notebook so we can keep track of everything. And then an important tool for this is the tire pyrometer. This allows us to check the temperatures at the cords. Some people like to use an infrared thermometer for this stuff. The reality is you need something that's going to check the temperature at the cord. You don't want surface temperatures, you want the inside carcass of the tire, and that's what this will provide for us. So I'm going to show you how this works before we go to the track, just because when we're under the car it can be a little difficult to see everything. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and show you how the pyrometer works here. The probe on this, the needle, you need to make sure that you insert it about the same depth each time that you use this, and you want to try to hit the same spot on the tires. So for me, that means we're going to do inside edge, and when you measure, you want to take the highest temperature you saw, which was 99 on that, 95, 103. The reason that the temperature drops so fast is it's pulling heat from the tire into this little needle. So you gotta keep a really close eye on this and always document the highest temperature that you see. When measuring the temperatures on the tire, it should be about an even temperature spread across the tire. However, the inside edge of the tire does take more load, so it can have a higher temperature. Higher temperature on the inside of about 20 degrees is about maximum. Another item to always monitor for tire health are cold tire pressures. These tires have essentially not been driven on the street, so there isn't really any built-up heat in the rubber. So we're going to get a cold tire pressure here. And I always check twice. We're at 31 psi on this tire, and that is where I want my cold temperatures to be on the rear tire in this situation. But based off the temperature readings we get from our tire probe is going to determine how we adjust these cold pressures and where we start out during the day. We're going to go ahead and check the temperatures. $171. All right, so we're back from the track and we can take a look at our tires and just kind of see how they're wearing after their first couple outings. Basically, you always want to make sure that you don't have any big chunks going out. It's very common here along these edges to kind of wear those down, and definitely with the weight of the car, sometimes it shifts and moves some of this stuff. Back tires, we do have a little bit of pickup. The tires on the back were running a little bit cold. This is the driver's side rear tire from the car. It has the most pickup on it. This was the coolest tire, and it was the tire that had the least amount of load. On the track that we were just on, we had a lot of heavy left-hand turns. So this tire takes the least load in that situation, and therefore runs the coolest. Another thing to look at is our measurements here. It's a good idea to measure the tire in 3 places and keep a log of that. Because that way, when we're sitting back and we're looking at where our wear pattern, we can know that this tire right here has the least amount of wear out of all 4. So when we remount our tires on the car, we're going to put this on the front corner that's going to take the most load on the track when we go out. So we're going to be out on the Arizona Motorsports Park track, so we're going to put this on the front left of our car, because on the clockwise configuration, that front left is going to take the most load on the car. This one is the newest, so we'll let this one wear down a little bit more. And that's one way that we can kind of help prioritize where our tires are to help make them last longer.